player and our standard player object. Like, I should be able to show you how easy it is to use some of this stuff. Like, what I can do is make a comment in here, and I'm just going to say, like, play parrot. Why can't I edit this? Like, I got this link here and I want to delete it. I can't delete it? What? Maybe it's because it's not checked out? Let me... There we go. This thing. What is this? That looks totally screwed up. Anyway, basically what we should be able to play here is audio. Well, we want to actually get a key down, so let's just go over here, and we don't want is key down, we want is key triggered, and we want, like, let's make the X action, or how about let's just do B action. So if the key is triggered, then we play sound, play SFX, and we just pass in parrot. We're done. There we go. That is how you play a sound when we hit a button. All we have to do is compile it, hit play, and we're playing sounds. And of course, we actually have to add a little bit more than that. We have to say, if it's true. If it's true, then play the sound. Otherwise, just get out. Of course, we didn't actually go to that node. There we are. So now it's only when we hit the B button. But that's kind of the idea later, is it's that easy to make something happen when like spawn like a visual effect or something is just like create, you know, visual effect, you know, like play SFX and all that stuff. That's just freaking annoying. Like, actually, with these nodes, if it goes to the left, it overwrites stuff. Like, you can't. Like, if I move this to the left here, like, I have these things. These nodes can break and like do all sorts of crazy shit. Like, it's replace existing output connection, which is just not what you want to do. I want to replace the input connection. So if I throw this over here, then it works just fine. Which is just absolute madness. Like, what the hell? Like, the position of the node actually changes all the things, which is just... that's obnoxious. So we'll just make a giant waterfall. Waterfall of stuff. Welcome back, Talon. Alright, so that works. So it seems like we're gonna have to make that asset registry then. So I'll have to ask you, Talon, like, based on your username there, I'm expecting you're, you know, born in 2002, so, probably high school or something like that. I'm not really sure what you mean by collaborate there, of course. I mean, I'm all for if you have any questions or anything else, or you want my opinion on something like, oh, what do you think about this language or this idea or something. But we're focused working on our game here, and we're not doing any real like hack day projects or anything crazy. That's the game we're working on this year. I'm working with Adam Phillips on that. So, not really sure what you're going for with collaboration and all that. So let's see. We need to make an asset registry. So in order to do that, I need to create a new manager. So we need to grab that audio manager. We'll throw that off on the other screen so I could kind of look at it. So let's see, if we're going to make a new manager, then we're going to need to actually make those classes. So let's open this up. So I'll make a kind of a data, and then actually just clone this audio manager real quick. We'll call it Dashkin Data Manager. Das Data Man. Same thing here. Make our filter. So this should be data. Throw this in here. Same thing with our runtime here. Managers, and then we'll add data. So now our headers are set up properly. Stop redupe, we got play SFX, get sound by name, it's close to what we're doing. Start channels, do want the get, we want preload data. We're going to want an array of a actor, Let's do im assets. And we also want u objects. These will be im actor assets, and these will be u object. These will be im data assets. Probably gonna have to have both an f string to u object pointer, asset map, and then we need like an actor map as well. So we'll need get actor by name. We'll need get asset by name. This will be. You mean I can help on this project? No. Unless you are, you know, you've been working in the game industry for like, 10 years and we go out for a couple beers and hang out. No, the answer's no. But yeah. I'm saying if you got any questions about stuff, like if you have any programming questions or anything like that, I'm always available to help if you got anything like that, or if you want my opinion on something. But we're focused on making our project, and nothing will stand in our way. So these things shouldn't have to go out of scope because they're in the asset registry, so we shouldn't have to make them new properties. Yeah, I've helped quite a few people, like back at EA. I know one of the QA guys wanted to become an engineer, so when he went off to college and all that stuff, I helped him figure out what he was doing and all that. So I've definitely helped. It sucks if you want to be a game developer. Getting into the industry is just awful, so I kind of feel people's pain and try to help them out with if there's any advice that I can give, things like that. And people have been grateful for that in the past, but I don't know. So that's pretty much what I'm saying. That's about as much collaboration as I'm pretty much willing to go. We're not doing any hack day small projects or anything else. We're just working on this game Dashkin. Unless something horrible happens, we're not going anywhere or doing anything except this game. So it's very involved working on these things. So don't really have a whole bunch of time to do all the things. Alright, so we need preload sounds with the log layout, creating the data manager. Let's see, preload data. Dashkin data manager. Man, this is old code. Static one there. Data manager. Let's see. Set all our namespaces properly. We got our getter. Let's actually return the right thing. Data manager. Alright, so this is looking decent. We need our getter methods. Just fill them out with null to start with. Yeah, for Dashkin's development, we're keeping it super small. Like, Like it's interesting when you actually ask the question, like, how many people would you even have work on a project? And the answer is, you know, if things are going well, you actually want as few people as possible on a project like this, because if things are going well, you know, the more people you add, the more chances there are for people not to get along. So even people that I like worked with for years, you know, Adam and I have talked about like, well, what, you know, if we got somebody else, could we expand the scope of the game, or would make something easier, or make it better? A lot of it even just boils down to like, well, things are working well now, so if we change anything, you know, because making games is hard. And every one of them is a different journey. This class manages our Dashkin data. And let's add our data manager to our actual game manager. So let's see, we are going to include Dashkin data manager.h, and we are going to get data manager, should be an actual thing. Yeah, you can just see just how goddamn old this stuff is. Man. I'm happy that at least Unreal lets you scan the asset registry in runtime, because Unity did not do that, and that was upsetting. Because what I ended up having to do is basically auto-generate static bindings for every single game object and throwing it inside of like a master scope. Therefore, I was able to dynamically create any game object in the game. But it was just, you know, I had to do that in the editor, and I had a little button that you basically pressed, and it resynced the asset database at runtime with what was available at build time. It was just such a clunky pile of garbage. It worked, but it was just like, come on, Unity, I made a box, let me spawn the box in the world. And I hate it when you have to fight the engine to do stuff like that. It's like, well, you didn't place the box in the world. To be like, I know, I made a thing that makes boxes, not a box. Alright, so we got that, and then we're gonna want like some utils. Dashkin data utils should be an actual static UObject thing that we have. So let's go ahead and start making that. Let's actually make. It's probably similar to math utils. So let's copy the math utils and make a data utils. And I've got these patterns basically that I'm using is I've got this manager class, and then I have this utils class which actually points at the manager class and uses it. And the reason we're doing that is because it's easy to kind of separate what the utils do and what the manager does. The manager can be very specific to what I want it to do, and the utils can be kind of the friendly, blueprint-facing exterior. That way I can program stuff how I want to internally, and then I can expose things exactly how I want to blueprints. Alright, so this will be view Dashkin data utils. This is for getting data. Dashkin data utils generated. Before we forget, let's make sure to add Dashkin data utils to our headers. Whoops. So I want to do. Let's add it to our build as well. Details.h. We're going to need static uObject, get object by name, and then same thing for aActor. So I'll have those and should be closing in on useful. So let's see. These are going to have to call the G data manager and snag that. Call to get an object by name. Call to get an actor by name. So let's take a look at what I was doing for the audio manager. G audio manager equals this. Yeah, so I really wasn't worried about too much crazy shenanigans for the audio manager. So we just have to call get on data manager and return it. What's this? Dashkin data manager nudge. Otherwise, return and get object by name. Let's double check that real quick. Get object by name. Looks about right. Alright, let's make sure we actually got it all set up properly. Then we can start preloading our assets. And of course, because we changed all the things and our headers, we'll have to recompile a whole bunch of crap because C++ is like that. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, it's not. That is just raw. Get object by name is not a member of data manager. Yeah. Alright. Fine. I guess you're right, compiler. I guess you're right. I just think that's really funny. This guy's like, oh, we could totally work together. I'm like, dude, you're confused. Go to school. It's like... all the things. All of them. We will register them, categorize them, make them easy to access. Just as long as you fill out the proper forms, you'll be able to access all the assets and actors. Create effect on entity utils? Entity object. That should be entity utils, not entity object. Back, more or less. Well, welcome back, Dashkin. We're just still filling out random C++ classes in order to get one step closer to usefulness. I am surprised. Our breakpoint will not currently be hit. No executable code for the debugger. Target type is associated with this line. Possible causes include... include that code not doing anything and the compiler going, that's cool, I'm gonna remove that code. The compiler does a lot of cool stuff behind the scenes for you. It removes code that doesn't do anything, just all sorts of amazing, cool stuff. People who wrote compilers and have written compilers over the years have made some really good tools there. I've only actually encountered a few compiler bugs, one of which was with Flash, where Flash's compiler was freaking out when it was making this one function. I remember in Dragon Age Legends, it was an empty function, but if you it wasn't empty. It had like some space at the top, and if you removed some of the white space at the top of the function, literally the function broke. And it literally was just empty white space. Like, we opened the file in like a hex editor and like all this other stuff to make sure there wasn't hidden characters and other stuff, but we're like staring at this just like, what in the hell? And it was actually a compiler like parsing bug. It's just like, what the fuck? Flash! Alright, so we need to actually have like some folders that we scan through here. For this thing to work, because we have to have the paths, so we need to add the paths to it, and then we need to get all the assets in all the things. So basically, let's take a look. Paths, we need to add our various paths to it. We need to scan those paths in the asset registry. And all that. So I'm actually gonna log a lot of this stuff out. Found assets with name and class. Star name, star class. Secondary won't get the sound signals. Ah, man. Well, you could do it, Karakan. I believe in you. You just need to be patient, and sometimes it helps to read documentation. As boring and awful as it is, I find that a lot of my frustration with a lot of stuff is I've got the instructions in front of me, and I just don't read the damn thing. It'd be like if I'm following a map and I'm like, where's the store? And and I'm looking at the map, and the map says like, dude, the store is literally that's the store. It's over there. And I'm like, no, the store is over here. And I'm like, it's like it's over there. Why'd you even buy a map if you're not gonna use it? Anyway. So we need to figure out which directories that we want to scan for this thing. Was it the audio bank, CPP? What the hell was this? So it looks kind of like this. So I'm gonna need to write down the paths for the assets that we want to scan. Not so easy to actually find the right document. Yeah, that's the other thing. You're just like, if only I had the instructions, I could do this. That's like the other day working with those blueprints, and I was like, I just want to add one number to one other number. This isn't hard. How come this has got to be simple? But I'm a moron and don't know anything. So how can it just drives you insane, because you know that the answer is really simple and just absolutely obvious. But no. So it's saying game test levels. It's like content test levels. Okay, so it's literally just game is always there, then test levels. So it's gonna be characters. Whoa, that's not what we wanted to do. Most affecting. Oh no, that's the worst. Where you're like, that's almost like when you come across some old forum post from like 2005, and it's like this person had this problem that you have right now, and they're asking the exact same question, and then they respond like a month later or something after this detailed explanation what's wrong and nobody had helped them. They're like, oh, I found the answer, and then they never say anything else. I think there's an XKCD comic about it. He's like, where were you? What happened? What did you find? What do you know? We need a slash at the end. Alright. So we're gonna need effects. Let's also include gameplay. Test content. I should probably actually templatize this thing real quick, just because this is something that we'll want to be able to add to. So I'm going to go ahead and templatize this real quick. Might take a little bit of time, might seem trivially completely unnecessary, but I assure you, I don't waste my time just doing random shit for no reason. I do it because I think I know what I'm doing. That's pretty much what I mean by I don't know what I'm doing. So we're going to go into, I guess it's going to be entitydata.h is going to be the right one. Yeah, entitydata.h.cpp. We're going to make a new function here. We're going to call it Dashkin entity data yeah, I guess, and we'll just do a void get preloaded asset paths, and we should pass in a T-array of f strings. So f string reference invec, or just input. This is going to be call this to get the list of asset paths to preload. Call to get the list of asset paths to preload. So let's actually go to Dashkin game data objects.json, and let's actually do asset paths. Asset paths. So we're going to do characters, effect, gameplay, test content. And all we have to do is for list and it goes objects underscore objects dot asset paths as asset path, and we have to do input dot add text, and then we want to do slash game slash, and then include our asset path, and then a trailing slash. Let's do input dot reset. So paths here will be like so. And let's regenerate all of our code and get that rolling for us. Dashkin entity data. Cool. Well, let's get assets by path, asset registry, asset list. Alright, so assets list, I'm going to do 4. It's going to be const f string path in paths. And we want start path assets list. For asset and asset list, go through it inside of %s start path. Well, let's see if we got it rolling properly. Illegal call of non-static member function. Illegal calls? I'm going to jail, guys. I'm making illegal calls here. Call the police. Oh no! My program has performed an illegal operation. I totally thought that back when, like, I was playing games and maybe I was like 6 or something using a computer and the game would crash, and I'd be like, you know, it'd print out in DOS or whatever, you know, this program has performed an illegal operation. I thought literally like the police were gonna come. It's like, Mom, the game did an illegal operation. Well, I guess you'd stop playing that. You'd better stop playing that game. Okay, I won't do it again. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so, gosh. So much boilerplate, so many yaks. Just line them up, shave them all at once. It's crazy. Need to have a shaving contest? I don't know. That could go horribly, horribly wrong. Alright, so I should go ahead and hit play, and then I want to see how many assets get printed out by this thing. And what exactly the asset names are. Let's also look at Dashkin entity data.cpp. Yeah, okay, that's totally wrong, isn't it? Look at that. Game data / asset path. That's totally what it should look like. I forgot to put a $sign in front of it. I forgot about the cash money. You don't forget about the cash money. That's better. That is much better. And in fact, I should also, while I'm here, switch over the audio stuff to doing the same thing. I should create an audio path for all these things. Let's just say audio, and this should be kind of like this. So get preloaded asset paths and also get preloaded audio asset paths. Game / asset paths. We need the right asset paths. Audio paths should be there, and we should be able to edit our audio manager. The audio manager is so old that we didn't have anything when I wrote it. Uh-oh. Malformed. Unterminated array. That's because I don't have a comma. Alright, so we just need to call star asset path on here, on the asset list, and be good to go. So now our audio manager can load things a lot nicer. Excellent. Just people mowing the lawn outside. Just like, wait, what is that noise? Static should not be used. Yeah, I'm getting lazy. Getting lazy. I think we started there. We haven't moved anywhere else. Yeah, so that's the fun part about like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna be making our, visual effects managers today. It's like, all right, great, let's do asset loading. People might expect, oh man, he's gonna be like making some cool looking stuff. Be like, nah, we're just we're reading files. Oh. Well, you gotta start somewhere. That's how this all works. You don't just magically have stuff that functions properly. So let's make sure our assets are loading. Can't make effects without files. Yeah, I know. This is true. So we're going to be reading the log here once this actually pops up, and it should print out. We're also going to double check that our audio still plays since we changed how we preloaded the audio assets. So now we're data driving it. Alright, so audio works. So let's see. So it looks like our names are just simple names, nothing too insane there. Like we've got the classes are pretty simple as well. They're just the name of the class. They're leaving off like the U and the A and all that stuff for like A paper actor, and U paper sprite component, things like that. It's a lot of sprites. Alright, so we got gameplay, game characters. Characters, effects, game, test content. Do we have test effect? Why didn't test content have anything inside of it that we scanned? I think it's like we got everything inside of gameplay and characters, but we didn't get anything inside of. Didn't get anything inside of test content. Did we get